Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Transformers Masterpiece MP-29 Shockwave. For all your Transformer needs, click the link in the description below to head on over to Robot Kingdom. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, so it's always a great day when we finally get a new mold in the Masterpiece line, and it's always even better when it's finally a Decepticon. It seems like forever since we got a new Decepticon mold. We've gone through a few repaints of the MP-11 Seeker mold, and we still don't have a Megatron mold, but finally they've got Shockwave here, and it is a pretty damn awesome figure. The initial photos, the purple, as you can see, it does, I didn't believe it until I got it in hand, but it does actually feel like and seem like it changes color depending on the lighting that you have. In some natural sort of light, the purple it almost seems darker in this sort of a darker environment in my room here with this pretty harsh LED lighting. It almost washes out the purple color, but we'll get onto that in a second. Just a quick look at the box. So it's a standard Takara style box, which is always nice and classy. Do like that artwork. And then you have Destron Laserwave. So I'm assuming Laserwave is the original Japanese name for him. And the usual photos on the back. Since I got this from the awesome guys at Robot Kingdom, who get this through Hasbro Asia, I think. It always comes with the collector card. I've already cut mine out from the packaging. I never keep the packaging, and the coin itself here is actually very nice. I love the sort of molding detail on this. So there's his head sculpt there, and on the back, Destron Laserwave Military Operations Commander. So another awesome coin. A bit of residue there that I'll get off in a second, but I do love my coins, so I'm definitely glad I got that piece. It comes with the collector card, which is in the new style, but surprisingly the new Ramjet is in the old style, so I'm not sure why. It sort of almost got my hopes up that they were going back to the old style, but it looks like they have not. It looks okay, but not my room, not my thing. Comes with the instruction manual, which is pretty helpful for all the batteries and where you place the stickers, which takes me to the sticker sheet. I'm in two minds about this sticker sheet. On the face of it, I do prefer my Takara Transformers to have tamped on symbols, and so I don't have to worry about these stickers. I understand why they've done it. You'll see these ones on the bottom here are the sort of semi-deformed sort of style, trying to mimic the deformed style from the cartoon, where the animators sometimes got it wrong. But I do prefer the usual style. And I do hate stickers. If you see my Lego sort of videos, you'll see that I always start sweating when I have to put these on. But hopefully these aren't too hard to put on straight. It's good that they give the option, I guess. Also comes with this little, I think they call it Laser Vulcan or something like that. I'm not sure why they call it that. As you can see in the instruction manual, it says Laser Vulcan. I think there was a scene in the cartoon where he was holding a little version of himself. I do like the little rope here for the hose, and it is nicely molded and styled. So no pan application, and it's pretty much made of the same plastic as the main figure, and we'll get onto that in a second. So overall, not too bad. He comes with I think a couple of default hands, but he also comes with the saluting hand and the fist that also opens out. So no articulated, I think they open out, so no articulated individual fingers like Quake or even some of the other figures like Starscream and Optimus, which is a little disappointing. I'm not sure why they couldn't just put the little joints in there and have articulated hands, but I guess they went the easy route and just gave you swap out options. I haven't tried swapping them out yet, but by all accounts it is fairly easy to do, and I probably will have him in the saluting pose, because currently I do have Skywarp in that pose, which isn't too good. Also it comes with the clear plastic versions of the hands. I'm not sure which I'll go with. I might go with the regular purple hands just for, I guess, cartoon accuracy. But if you want to use these with the light up feature, they do look pretty cool. So you get the saluting hand and so on. So I think this is probably more G1 toy accurate, I think. But I always try to go for the cartoon accuracy. So I'll go with these ones instead. My favorite thing, one of the favorite things on this figure is the hose itself. On Quakewave that I have, it's a rubber hose, whereas on this one here, it's almost like a coil spring. I'm just trying to see if there's anything inside there, or whether or not it's just a string. It looks like it just might be a tightly coiled piece of metal. I think it's metal. Or yeah, it could be just painted metal, but it is actually quite. It's like almost like a slinky. So it definitely would be a bit more hard wearing than the rubber hoses. So I definitely like that they've included that. I haven't bothered putting it on yet, but I'll show you where that needs to go in a second. And here is the figure itself. So I guess with the other third-party figures, none of them I don't think included a stand. At least my Quakewave did not. And I guess it's almost parts forming, I guess. It doesn't need this purple backpack because it does transform into his backpack. It can transform as an all-in-one without the backpack, which I think is pretty damn awesome. But I guess if you want cartoon accuracy for the purple backpack and not this grey backpack, then I guess you just have to use this as a bit of parts forming. But similar to Ultra Magnus and Ironhide and so on for that all-in-one transformation, I think Takara have done a pretty fantastic job. So here he is. It's not perfect. There are some aspects of it that I don't like. The plastic, I really do think that they should have gone with at least some sort of paint application on the purple. I mean, they've got painted purple here, and you can see that it's a nice glossy sort of finish on this die cast section here, and it's so much nicer. Similarly for the grey here, the grey section here has it's almost like, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's got a nice sort of glistening, sparkling look to it. If they had just done that paint application on the other grey along these areas, the feet and the thighs, it would have just given the figure a bit of pop on display, much like Soundwave. The paint application on Soundwave is far better than this, because the plastic overall, I guess I'm a bit biased because I do love the G1 look and so on, but on the face of it, if you just picked it up off the toy shelf, it does look a little bit cheap. Because there's only minimal die cast, as I was saying. There's die cast in this sort of bigger stabilizer section here, and I think the feet are also die cast. Actually, the paint application on the feet, you can sort of make out the glistening effect. So I guess they've done that on the die cast section, but the grey plastic is pretty much just a straight grey plastic. But we'll have a closer look at that in a second. The areas that I don't like, pretty much only from the rear. There's this bit of a gap here that's not covered. It would have been nice if there was some sort of panel or folding flap or something just to cover that up. And this section here at the back here, the feet don't sort of fold away or cover that gap. So it just looks, I don't know, it looks almost a little bit unfinished. But other than that, it's pretty damn good. The stickers, you are meant to put the smaller stickers on the sides here and on the sides here to complete that G1 look. And you also put the stickers, I think, on the forearms along here. But other than that, I'll quickly grab Quakewave and give you guys a comparison there. Alright, so here is Quakewave on the right. And as you can tell, it is slightly larger, and it definitely has a lot more weight to it due to the much more prominence of the die cast in the handle, the feet, etc. Or the feet back here. So as you can see at the back of that, I guess it's still not totally clean with the silver look there, but the rear, I guess when you have a look at it like that, it does finish a little bit nicer than the gap. There is a bit of a gap here, but I guess overall there is G1 accuracy with this particular look, but I guess for Quakewave here, it does sort of have a bit more of a premium feel to it. The plastic in particular, I think, just looks better in this darker color. It is almost a bit too dark, as it is supposed to mimic the G1 toy. But overall, I almost feel the plastic even looks and feels higher quality than the plastic that Takara have used. It's a very bland sort of flat plastic, whereas the plastic on Quakewave here just has that almost a nice sheen to it that just gives it a bit of a quality feel. I don't have the batteries in the Quakewave, since I did swap out the arm piece here, which pretty much disables the electronics, but I did that to at least get that G1 accuracy with the hose. But on Shockwave here, you just put two AA batteries, AAA batteries in the front here, and then you need two, I think they're LR44 small sort of lithium ion batteries, or whatever they're called, into the arm here. And once you do that, there's a switch on this side, so if you have the switch in the up position, the light just turns on when you pull the trigger here. So you'll see the light goes on, and you'll see that it is pretty damn bright. So that does that, and if you flick the switch down and you press the trigger, it pretty much does its own sort of pulsing glow. So it'll glow, then recede and come back. So that's a pretty nice effect. I'm not going to turn off the lights, but overall with that brightness and that sort of effect, it's very, very nice. So I'll just, I'm not sure how I'll turn that off, just put that up like that. And the batteries weren't too hard to put in, just be careful you don't strip those screws there, just to use a proper screwdriver. But other than that, I'll start getting into the transformation. I did forget to show the hose being put in. You pretty much just slot one end into the hole that was in the forearm, and the other hole is right there, so you just slot it in the hole like so. And it's a pretty tight fit, and it does act pretty nicely, so can't complain too much about that at all. Alright, so with the transformation, you pretty much start at the back here and fold the sight down and fold that up, and I think you just fold it down like so, and then you come to the front here, and the front sections here split open like so, and then you can just fold the arms down and get the arms out of the way like that, and that'll reveal this whole big die cast sort of slot at the front here, which I think is a pretty damn genius invention that forms his backpack as it folds down, and that's pretty much my masterpiece moment for this particular figure. I do like the way they've done that. And then at the front here, you pretty much just fold those up, and then fold that up like so, and lock that in place like so. What you do then is then fold this whole section back down to the bottom there and fold that up. There are a couple of pegs that you see there that fit into the holes that you see right there, but we won't do that just yet. You can peg it in. It doesn't peg that well in with this particular piece, but does peg in fairly well with the proper backpack, so I'll leave that for now. Right, next you can lift up the head here and just pull it out. It is a little bit tricky because you can't sort of fold it out of the way, so now I'm just going to have to try and get my fingers in there, pull it out. Now the instructions aren't clear on how you can lock that neck plate in position, and so a lot of collectors initially thought that the head would just sort of fold back down, but you can sort of pull up slightly and it will lock in place like so. So there was a slight click and you'll see that the plate comes up, and then it won't go down any further unless you push a little bit harder. Alright, next you'll come down to these bottom tabs here and just see if you can get your fingers in there and fold them down like so, and that'll release this top section here, which you can then sort of fold out and then fold these out like so. And so this whole section at the back that forms the robot legs is another pretty ingenious transformation sequence as well. So you just rotate these leg sections down like so, and then come around to the other side, and then pretty much split the legs open like that. The way these internal sections here fold out to form the legs is pretty cool. So there's a little flap here that you fold out, and then you fold that section forward. So if you get a look at that, you just put this little peg down, and then just clip this section in place. We'll peg it in. There's a little tab there. If I can actually get it in the slot correctly. You just need to sort of angle it properly, which I'm not getting. It's not fitting in the slot properly. Hold on. Alright, yeah, so this section here, you just need to make sure that this side is flush with this side to line up the slot with the hole there. And once you do that, it does go in fairly easily, like so. My bit here's got a little bit of mold flashing, which is disappointing, so I'm going to have to try and shave that off somehow. But you pretty much do the same on this side here. So just open up that flap like so, open that up, and see if I can do this one on camera. And then just fold that in and put it in the slot like so. So that pretty much closes up that front of the leg, and then you can just rotate these feet around like so on a pretty strong ratchet, which is good. Come around to this side and do the same here. So ratchet that around like so. This whole outer leg section then folds down like so on that particular hinge there, and you see on this leg panel there is a slot peg there and a slot on this side, and you just sort of line them up and push them together, and it should squeeze into that slot. I'm not sure if that's particularly flush in there yet, but just push down and you should get it in that slot. Alright, so pretty much do the same on this side, just fold that down, ratchet that joint around to line up the legs, and then just fold that in there if you can. There you go, and then just squeeze, try and see the slot in there and squeeze those together like that, and that is pretty much the lower legs like so. Alright, once those legs are done, you pretty much fold up the side hip panels and turn the thigh around at the top there to get the legs facing in the right direction, and then fold those back down. Alright, then you come up to the torso bit, and with the trigger there, it should already be stuck up there, but you pretty much get your fingernail and pull that particular slide panel down like so, and then you can pull this whole torso section up. I'm not sure where the best point to hold, but just pull and it will lift that up. It will introduce a bit of a gap, so you just pull that a bit further down, and then that releases the sort of waist articulation, and also a bit of an ab crunch in there as well. So just remember to pull that up, because it also gives him a bit of that extra height that he'll need in comparison with the other Decepticons. The transformation's almost complete. I almost forgot about the backpack here, but essentially you grab the stand that had it set up like that for the gun mode. You just flip that up until it sort of looks like this, and you can fit this tab section through a hole there. Just make sure that sort of lines up, and then these holes here on the clear plastic need to line up, and so you just push that in until it clicks in place like so, and then this whole section here then folds over like that, and I think it clips in place fairly well like so. So it fits over this little bit here, and then that whole section just folds down fairly well, I think. Let me see if that folds down now. I don't think it's meant to be like that. Hold on. Yeah, you just got to be careful of how you've got the ab crunch here. Just make sure it's fairly straight. And once you do that, you can just line up the holes there and push in fairly tight, and it locks in vertical and flush and quite tightly, so you won't be able to pull that off at all. And that is pretty much Shockwave. Alright, so here he is in bot mode, and on first impressions he does seem a little undersized, particularly in comparison to Quake Wave, which I'll show you guys in a second. But I will get the Seekers and Soundwave out in a second to give you guys a size comparison, where apparently it is very cartoon accurate, and from the screenshots that I've seen from the cartoon, where you do see him standing next to the Seekers and Megatron and so on, the size is pretty much spot on. So I guess if that's what Takara's doing, I can't really blame them too much for that at all. The backpack, from the side it does look pretty sizable. But from most angles it does look pretty accurate to the cartoon as well. So it is a bit of parts forming, I guess, if you do want the full purple look. So that's a shame, but I guess with the grey backpack underneath being an all-in-one with that big die casting, I do love that part of the transformation. The back of the head is probably unfortunate that it's got that big yellow panel, but I guess for a light piping, it is very, very well done. You just put any sort of light source back there and it does glow very brightly. I'm not going to put the lamp in front of it now. It'll probably wash out the whole video, but it does look very good and is very effective. With the neck plate pushed into place properly, the articulation is very good, so you get a wide range of motion for him looking up and down and to the side, and tilting his head, etc. So lots of options there for posing. There's ratchets pretty much everywhere, so you do have ratchets going out, so you just need to hold that and pretty much ratchet out. I'm not sure how strong these joints will be, so I'm just be careful doing that. So ratchets out that way, ratchets out this way, and then ratchets in the elbow. It is disappointing that the elbows are not double jointed, so that is pretty much as far as you're gonna go. I think from memory all the other Seekers and Soundwave all have double jointed elbows, so it is disappointing that they couldn't find a point for another joint there. There is I guess an elbow swivel, but no bicep swivel at the top there. And as you can see, you can just pull this little tab here to swap out the hands. Alright, the light up effect, you just press the button on the forearm here and it'll start pulsing like so, which is a pretty nice effect. It'll probably look better with the translucent plastic, but I'll probably stick with this look and take the batteries out anyway. On the leg articulation, you can fold these panels up and out to the sides. It goes out to the side a fair way, and it ratchets out to the front quite a good distance as well. The knee pretty much only bends that far, but I guess most posers of Shockwave won't go that far anyway. And of course there is the nice ankle rocking motion and the ankle tilt, but that is pretty much it from the articulation perspective. So overall I'm pretty happy with the way he looks from pretty much all angles. It's very good from looking at the legs and so on. Very nice design. But I'll show you Quake Wave in comparison, and you'll see that in I guess almost heft and height, there is quite a bit of a difference. I guess apart from the obvious dark color, this is the FTO3T, which is the toy colored version, as opposed to the normal FTO3, which is a lighter color. I don't think the light colored version is anywhere near as light as MP-29 here. I guess overall I'm not too fussed about the light color of MP-29, as it is pretty cartoon accurate, so I can't complain too much about that. But in terms of the heft, I do like Quake Wave's paint application here in the grey. So you'll notice that the grey thighs here in particular are just sort of this matte grey plastic that doesn't really have too much of a shine to it. If they had gone that extra mile to put this sort of silver paint application, it really would have made a bit of a difference to the way this guy displays, in my opinion. And around, you know, the sort of feet here that have that nice sort of chromed look to it. Perhaps you're not going to the chromed look for Shockwave here, but at least a nicer sort of metallic paint finish would have been a better way to go. I'll grab Soundwave to give you a comparison on the paint applications there, and also the Seekers as well. Just hold on a second. Alright, so here you see Shockwave with the other Takara MPs with Starscream, Skywarp, Soundwave and Thundercracker in the back there. I'm definitely glad to finally have most of the core G1 Decepticon cast from Season 1 finally in MP form. You'll see the height here. He is sort of between Soundwave and Starscream, which I guess roughly is fairly accurate. Probably in the cartoon he was maybe just slightly bit taller, but overall I can't complain too much. But the Silveron Soundwave, you know, in the cartoon, you know, he was almost just white in those particular areas. So the fact that they've, you know, painted that with that nice metallic silver in his feet and his forearms and so on. If they'd done something similar to the grey on the thighs there for Shockwave, it would have just made it look a little bit nicer on display and pop a little bit more. I guess with Starscream, a lot of the grey is just grey plastic as well and not painted. But I guess the chest area and so on, and the crotch area is nicely painted in a deep red. So at least it stands out a little bit in that regard. But overall, seeing these guys together, nothing sort of makes me smile more than, I guess, if they had actually released a Megatron or announced one for later this year. I don't know what Takara are doing, but when you look at the gang here, that's the obvious missing element. I do have the X-Transbots Apollyon, aka I guess the newly scaled Megatron, but I would definitely love one from Takara. So that's pretty much it for Shockwave MP-29. Hopefully you can click that subscribe button, because I've got this guy coming up next. I did get both of these guys together today, and I think Ramjet is absolutely fantastic. So I'll get onto that next. Hopefully you liked this look at Shockwave and can stay tuned for the upcoming reviews. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.